Hey guys, James here with UFSU University, coming back at you with another deck profile. This one is going to be under Ivy, continuing with the Soul Calibur decks we're going to do every single Wednesday till we complete all the characters in the set. Today you're getting Grow and Ivy, and this is the Ivy. Next week you'll get Killik and Mitsurugi, then Sophidia and Taki, Siegfried and Zhang Shua, then Nightmare and Yoshimitsu, ending in Aswell and Zasalamo. Okay. So let's get into the profile. So Ivy is a 6 hand size 30 vitality character with all evil and life. We're going to play her under evil with this deck. Her abilities are E twice per turn, lose 1 vitality, reveal the top card of your deck. You can choose to remove the revealed card. If you do, add the top card of your discard pile to the top of your deck. So you stack from the top card of your discard pile or just basically reveal the top card, which is pretty nice. You get to know what's on top, so you can draw it or just know what your check is. And then R twice per turn. After an attack with 2 or fewer printed keywords deals damage, gain 2 vitality and draw 1 card. That ability is really good, especially with her reveal and a bunch of the things we're playing in our deck. So we'll get into the foundations first, then to the attacks. We're playing 3 English Aristocrat. It has a 1 high block, which is really nice. It's a 2 for 5. It's a 2/5. E commit your attack with 2 or fewer keywords, gets +3 speed, and if it deals, you'll gain 3, which is really good with her Wind Embrace, which is just gain 5 total because it's a throw, so it's gonna deal, then draw 1 card, as well as making them burn for 1, and you getting to see 3 cards at the top of your deck, counting Ivies. It's really nice. And then the other abilities are flip. After you reveal any number of cards from the top of your deck, gain 3 vitality. I played this deck for my team's deck during Worlds, and then I really enjoyed the combo between this card and Fallen Angels, which is you could block with Fallen Angels on defense, and then obviously the card says after you play this card, reveal the top card of your deck, and then you may discard it, and then the revealing triggers this R to gain 3 vitality, which was really sick. It saved me a couple of matchups. On to the next card, we're playing 4 Zero Nightmare. You can't reduce your opponent's vitality to 0 with the abilities on the card, but after it's discarded, your opponent loses 1 vitality. So if you discard for an ability, or if your opponent makes you discard 1, they lose 1. If you review it, they lose 1. After this card is committed due to your opponent's stun ability, your opponent loses 2 vitality. So now your opponent doesn't get to stun you unless they want to burn. And then E, once per turn, you can discard 1 card and ready this foundation, and it's playable while committed, obviously. It's a 1/6, so you check well. It's a 3 high block, which is really nice. Just overall, it did a lot of work during the weekend, just preventing my opponent from wanting to stun me, as well as burning my opponent when they chose to. In my deck, I played 1 and then sided 2 more for this, but for this deck profile, I upgraded it to 2. Ninja Outcast was very, very good this last format, and I think will continue to be very good. R, discard momentum. After your opponent plays an ability on a weapon card, you cancel it, which is very, very strong with all the weapon cards that came out of Soul Calibur, as well as like Yoshimitsu just being a very strong weapon character himself. The other ability is R, your turn, flip. After your opponent plays an attack, add it back to their hand. So they just play a reversal on your turn, you just say no. And since you're not allowed to reversal twice, since you're not allowed to reversal to the same block twice, it's just great against it. We're playing 2 Most Trusted Assassin. There's only 2, not anymore, because we need to find space for spam as well as keeping the deck a little down. But it's just a first form, look at 1 card in your opponent's hand. It's a spam, and then you can lose 1 to make your opponent's next check to play an attack get -1. It was just all around just pretty okay. We're playing 3 Empress of Netherrealm. It's a 3 high. Desperation E, look at the top card of your opponent's deck. E flip, lose 3, draw a card. Just a nice spam that gets another card into your hand, which works really well with Ivy's reveal. If you like the card you want it in your hand, just draw it. We're playing 1 Last of His Kind. Pay 2 to neg their damage. At Desperation, you get +2 damage. If you guys ever get to Deadlock, it's +2 more damage. It's just really solid with the way you bend your life around. 2 Face of a Monster. Like I said, it's very easy to bend your life. Sometimes you need a block, so you pay 1 to make them -2 on their speed. Desperation, you get to change the zone, so you make sure you like full block something. It's really nice. 3 Outwards Errors, just to get rid of problem cards. The stun never really mattered because you have a Zero Nightmare, so you never had to worry about it. But the just pay X to get rid of something is just really nice. Because we do get to Desperation, we like to bend our life around. We play 2 Uniting Rebels. It's a 0/6 spam that just says once per turn, gain a life. So you're at desperation, you just gain just a little bit more. It helps you extend that life just enough to live. This card was an MVP for the weekend, and it to me is very underrated in the evil symbol currently, which is Blood for Blood. E, and you don't have to worry about the first ability. I used it maybe once just because like it came in handy at that time. The first ability is just after it's committed due to your opponent's effect, they have to destroy one of their foundations, and then you destroy that. Playable while committed, so they stun you. You each blow up a foundation to 1-for-1. I didn't find it as good. I didn't use that ability except for like maybe once the entire weekend, and it was just because it helped me because he was checking bad. So I just got more advantage off of it, but it was whatever. The other ability it is E, lose 2 vitality. If your attack is blocked, your opponent loses 2 vitality, which is really good because like this says after an attack does damage, gain 2 and draw 1. So like the idea is your opponent's not going to want to let you gain 2 and draw a card, so they're going to want to block, which means they're going to lose 2. And then if they don't, you paid 2, and then you just gain that 2 back. So you play this ability for free, unless they block it. And if so, you just 2 for 2 their life. It's pretty nice, especially with things like Syndicate Slice. If they block, you'll draw. If they don't block, you'll draw and gain 2. It just forces them to put into stupid situations they don't want to be in. And when they get low in health, this card comes in very, very clutch. We're playing 3 Arranging a Deal. It's a 1/6, very nice. Has a 2 mid block, which is really nice. It's a good check. And then Desperation E, draw 1 card, which is just really nice and simple. Plus your hand size. Like I said, Fallen Angels, it's a spam 0/5 to low block. After you play the card, reveal the top card of your deck, discard it. This card comes very in handy to like extend turn 1 build turns. Just build more because you can play it on your 3rd card to check the top and then see what it is and get rid of it and try to get something better. This card is very good. It's going to rotate soon, unfortunately, but Merciless Master, 3 of it. This is what I played it as during Worlds. Add the top, you can add the enhance, you can add this card to the top of your deck, and then E, once per turn, add 1 momentum to the top of your deck. So like this works really in handy because Ivy says if it deals damage, gain 2, draw a card, so you can stack with Merciless to then draw whatever you want. If like you throw this Wind Embrace, or like you put it on top and then throw this Syndicate Slice, and then like it's like out of the 8 attacks you're most commonly to have, you're going to draw off of this Ivy a lot. So like just guaranteed getting more attacks and more attacks with Merciless. We're playing 2 Oath, Phidiophobia. E, flip with this attack. If this attack is blocked, it deals no damage. It's really good with Flame War because Flame War reduces the speed to 0. You block a mid, take nothing. It's just nice and simple. You don't want to take all the health sometime. And then this card's going to be very good next format with all the Gauge running around. This one I threw in for this profile just so you guys can look at it before Gauge becomes a real thing coming out in May 24th with the release of 7th Cross. It's Demanding Submission. R Destroy. It's a 2/4 no block. R Destroy. After your opponent plays a keyword ability, cancel its effects. So like Gauge 5, cancel it. Gauge 6, cancel it. Gauge 3, cancel it. If that keyword ability has a rating, your opponent loses vitality equal to its rating. So like they lose X equal to that rating. So like multiple 3, well, I'll negate it, burn you for 3. Powerful 6, I'll negate it, burn you for 6. Gauge 5, cancel it, burn you for 5. Like it's just really, really good. It's gonna be great this next format. I think it's gonna be like a 2 of main, 2 of side, because if depending on what you're playing against, but like I think it's gonna be a very key card to look out for. For my actions, we're playing 3 Revoke, helps you get off cool build turns, and then as well as you get to like if you check it, you can stack it with Ivy, draw it. Like there's a lot of ways to easily get revokes into your hand outside of just drawing them, which is really nice. It negates things, like it's just really nice. 3, I Grant You Death. Funnily enough, this card is an MVP of the deck. It's really nice to just your opponent plays a response, lose 2, burn them from 4, and if not, it's a nice solid mid 1 block that you can just do something else with later, I guess, because it's gonna leave soon. But like, cool note from Worlds. 2 of these kills Ben Shoemaker at 6 life. Happens. Don't respond with Akuma. Or don't respond with Jackie. Burn them for 4. Burn them for 8. Like like when I played Jackie's, it was just like they'd respond for a turn and then you just go, cool, you'll lose 4, I'll gain 2. Just because you wanted to draw 3 cards. Nice and simple. And then you like just play out your normal turns, hit them for things. It was just really easy and simple. This is something I added in afterwards. This was in my side deck, and I really wish I had it mained, which was 2 homemade explosives. I never played against anything where like the assets mattered, but this draw ability really mattered. Not even like the damage, just the draw. The ability to look at the top card of my deck and just draw an extra card was just really sick. And like just noticing the slight draw I had just made me wanted this more. And then like with Krita Yuga, Kali Yuga, just running around, it earns its spot at a 2 of in the deck. We're playing 2 Flipcat. I actually cut this from the 3 that I was playing for Worlds. It's really good in the deck, oddly enough, but I just never... It didn't put in the weight it was putting in during testing, but put in enough weight to where I don't think I needed to cut it fully. Like, it's an EX3 slam. If I have 1 momentum, I ready 1 foundation that hasn't been readied. If I have 2 or more momentum, I add the top card of my deck 2 momentum to have 3. And then if I have at least 3 momentum, this attack is plus 5 damage. So like if you get the 3 momentum, you make it a 4 for 8, and then you EX3 all your momentum for plus 9 speed, making it a 13 for 8 base. Like, it killed some people just being Flipcat itself. But like, sometimes it did nothing but maybe a 3 damage leadoff attack that maybe poked them so Ivy can do her thing, or absorbed a block so like I can play a Syndicate Slice or a Guilty Throne or something after it to do anything to try and get some poke damage in, get some flow going with the deck. Another MVP of the weekend, Guardian Slasher. It was really fun in this deck. I don't think I bumped it up to a 3 just because the 1-check's very deadly, especially when you play a 7. But like this came in so handy. It's a 4/1, 1 high block, so it's decent to block with. It's a 3 high for 5. If this attack is blocked by a non-attack card, you add it back to your hand after it resolves. So like if after you reversal with it, your opponent's not allowed to block with their attacks, and then which is only allowed to block with their attacks. So they have to waste an attack to block this Guardian Slasher, or take it so you can gain your 2, which is just fine with you because its other ability is during your opponent's turn, lose 4 vitality. Your opponent can't play attacks for the rest of the combat phase. And nobody can play attacks for the rest of the combat phase. Nobody at all. Just no more attacks. Just ends people's turns basically by paying 4 life, and then half the time they don't want to block with their attacks. So like you paid 4 and then gain 2 and draw a card off of Ivy just so you can review something and look another card. Like, it put in so much work this weekend, and I thoroughly, not this weekend, and Worlds weekend, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said, Syndicate Slice was very good, very hard staple for this deck for the way I was playing it. If it's blocked, I draw. If it's not blocked, I draw. It was really good. Gave plus to my check so I could play it first, then play Guilty Throne, bait them into blocking and then playing this, or bait them into not blocking, drawing anyways, playing this to draw more cards to just build more. It was just really good. At Desperation, it's a 2 diff, so like, oh man. It was just really good all weekend. Flame Aura protected me all weekend. It was, oddly enough, very useful. And like having 2 in hand to just burn your opponent for 2, burn them for 1, then burn them for 2 because he blocked twice. Like, the slow burn this deck produces is just incredibly good. Like, I loved playing this deck all weekend. I wish I had some more time to iron it out beforehand, but you know, you get what you get. 3 Guilty Throne. This is up 1 from the weekend. I took the 1 Flipcat and basically made it a Guilty Throne. I liked the ability to draw 3 cards, but I also liked the ability to have the 3 low block, as well as forcing my opponent to Venomous this instead of Venomosing something like my Syndicate Slice. Because them Venomosing this didn't matter to me. Them Venomosing the Syndicate Slice really mattered, or Venomosing the Guardian Slasher add back to hand matters. This one's just plussing while being a 6 mid for 7. Like, it seems like something like at the time it was like, I really want this to go off. But after just playing all weekend, I was like, man, sometimes this is just fast enough to make everything else lethal, while this just baits things. This was just such a hard bait, and then if they don't take the bait, you just plus. So like, that's what I used it for all weekend. And then Wind Embrace, another MVP of the day, which was, it's a 3 high for 6, has throw, weapon, so you always deal damage, so you're always going to draw with Ivy. Discard the top card of your deck, your opponent loses 1 vitality. Discard the top card of your deck, you gain 2 vitality. So like, you can blood for blood it, then gain this, and you didn't really pay anything, as well as just being able to gain more. It was just really solid all weekend. Like these two together are just so nuts. They provide a lot of health gain over the weekend. I had a lot of fun matches of just going back and forth with my health and my opponent just trying to dwindle me, and it just really worked out in the end. I had a lot of fun that weekend. Like as a team, we went 4-3-1, but I think over my weekend we had 7 rounds, so I think I went 5-1-1 or it was 4-1-2. One or the other. I don't remember, but like this deck did very well over the weekend, and I made some slight changes. Obviously, things like Ophidiophobia and Merciless Master are going to rotate soon, and we'll have to find replacements for them. And then afterwards, Homemade Explosives will rotate along with, I thought there was one more. I guess not. But these 3 will rotate soon. So, like, we're going to have to find replacements for them. But this deck did very well, and it's just so incredibly fun, at least to me it was. So, yeah, guys, that's the Ivy deck profile. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Remember, next week is going to be Killick and Mitsurugi. And then this week was Grow and Ivy. So make sure to check out that Grow deck. There should be a Cadenza deck brought to you by Brooke Manez coming out tomorrow. And then make sure to check out our Sunday Fun Days, guys. We play games, hang out with the community, just chat, live stream. It's a lot of fun. Make sure to come check it out. And as always, guys, stay learned.